Hi, I'm Steph, and this is the BS show number 6, April Fool's Day, and I'm here with my co-host Allan Gitlin, the G-Man. Allan,
Hey,
welcome to
Steph,
the
what's going
program.
on, man? April Fool's
Oh,
Day, and we got a fool in the White House. So it's
tell me
April Fool's
about
Day
it. Tell me
everywhere.
about it. I'm all ears.
Well, the guy, he did away with the cartoons. Now he has nothing to watch on Saturday morning, and he did away with Dr. Seuss books, and those are the only books he comprehended. So I don't get that. So and he's thinking about taking away crayons. If he does that, I'll have nothing to do on the weekends.
That's
So
right. No Crayola.
no Crayola, right? And maybe he'll come up with a new color. It'll be shit brown. Oh, I mean, whatever. But anyway, we're just having fun with this. We've had some challenges, and people have blacked me out. They put a screen over us. They blipped us out for a little bit with audio for a couple minutes here and there. But the show's going on. We don't care what they do to us. We don't care. This is show number 6. We're gonna have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 200 by the time we're done. So we don't care. We're going on with the show. We're just two guys having a good time, BSing, and hopefully, if somebody picks it up, fine. If not, we're just having fun with this. That's all. We're not doing it for money. We're not doing it for. We're just doing it to have a good time, talk about what's going on in the world, some stories and some jokes, and just making people laugh a little bit in this, time of COVID, and people are down and out and don't know what to do and tired of wearing a mask, and you know some people are afraid to go out. You got to live your life. But anyway, I've been doing acting and comedy off and on for about 20 years, and I enjoy everything I do. I've been a podcast host and guest. I wrote a script. Everything I do, I have a blast with. Just have fun with it, enjoy it, and if it goes somewhere, fine. If it doesn't, not the end of the world. you know um I had a job for 25 years. Unfortunately, it's been out about 25 years now, that I truly loved, and I started the very lowest position in the company, and the only job I didn't do before they closed the door was general manager and controller. um I started as a delivery man for them. I was in the union. The union rep had been in the company about 35 years. I knew him very well. Matter of fact, he unfortunately passed away, as did most of the workers. I was one of the younger ones there. Even after 25 years, I was still one of the younger ones there. Um, and when I was in the union, he used to say to me, "You can't do that." And I would say, "Listen, you know what? Write me up. But the guy signs my check, tells me to do something, I'm doing it." Uh, the general manager, when they closed, and I were the only two men that made it out of the warehouse in the 25 years I was there. I pushed and shoved and worked my way to the top. I did a lot of extra shit that people never ever thought about doing for them. They were very good to me, and I was very good to them. It was a two-way street. They threw me extra money. They threw me tickets to ball games, basketball, football, track meets. Anytime they had an extra ticket, I was the first one to go. The accountant used to be there a lot, and I got to know his sons because they would go to the tickets with us a lot of times, or he got tickets from one of his clients, and they would give. He was very close to my boss, and I was the next one to go. Asked to go. I once went to a track meet for Bristol Myers with my ex-wife, and I brought my ex-father-in-law. And not only did we go for free, we got free food, free drinks, and we got a gift for going. Like, really? Really? It had to be the Penn Relays. And actually saw, I know it's not popular now, but I actually saw Bill Cosby run a half mile at the Penn Relay because he went to Penn State, and they did a thing about him, and he happened to be there that day. They did some kind of like half mile with him, just as a publicity thing. This is going back in the late 70s or early 80s, I guess it was. So wait a minute. I got tickets for free. I got food for free. I got drinks for free, and I got a gift for going. That's a pretty good deal, you know?
Not
Uh,
bad. And
I-
you do, yeah. Let me add another free in there. We're doing
uh,
this show for free.
that's what we're doing this show for free, correct? Right. So that was, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I went to baseball games, basketball games. You know, you name it, I went. Any extra tickets anybody ever got in the place, they always asked me. I was the next one to go if somebody couldn't go, and you know, they were. It was a company that I always say was the last of a dying breed. They built their reputation on customer service. They literally bent over backwards for their customers. We were a wholesale drug company. We handled pharmaceuticals, class 3, class 4, everything that you see in a drugstore. And we had sundry side also. I was an expert at 6 sections on the pharmaceutical side. I could pick any section. They could throw me in there and I could pick, you know, any section, including the class 3s or class 4s if I had to. I worked receiving. I was supervisor of the warehouse at one point. I ran the accounts payable department for about 2.5 years. I bought for another 2.5 years. And it's funny, this is how I got on the road as a salesman for the last 35 years of my life. I'd never been on a road before as a salesman. I never saw anything before in my life. And the accounts that I used to deliver to when I was a driver, halfway into my tenure, the guy who had that territory was moving to Denver. He went on vacation to Tahiti, and he met a girl from Denver, and he got very serious, like very fast. He was never married. He was in his 30s, and he decided that he wanted to go out there and live with her. And I believe they got married. I never heard from him after that, or saw anybody after that. I went to my boss and I said, listen, I'd like to go on the road and take his territory. And he said, well, you know, I don't want you to go on the road because you're too valuable to me inside. You know everybody's job, and if somebody doesn't know where something is, you can find it, including the warehouse. You know the warehouse better than the warehouse supervisor. And I said, listen, I got a young family. I got a house, and I need a little extra money. And I said, if it doesn't work out, you can bring me back in.
What is that beeping?
I think it's something on my calendar showing me I got something going on here, but I just dismissed it. So anyway, so I said, listen, if it doesn't work, you could bring me back. So I went on the road. And to me, it was a natural fit. I said to him, listen, I know the products, I know the customers, I know what goes on the inside if something happens, you know, to an order. I know how to handle it on the inside, you know, how to get the credits made, that done for the person. Or if they say something was marked out and I don't think it was, I could go find it in the warehouse when I walked in the warehouse. That's just who I am, you know. The customers loved me because there was no question I couldn't answer out there. I didn't have to call anybody. They could ask me any question and I could tell them exactly what happened because I knew what happened on the inside. You know, as a matter of fact, it was one time I went to a guy in Bricktown, New Jersey, and he said, you know, yesterday I got my order yesterday, and I got shorted watch batteries. And I said, where's the box it came in? Did you break it down yet? And he said, no, they just threw it in the garbage in the dumpster. You know, at one point you didn't have to do that. You know, you just throw things in a dumpster and don't worry about it. So I said, well, could you get me the boxes? So he got me the boxes, and I picked up the bottom flap of the box, and there were 3 or 4 watch batteries slid underneath. He goes, well, how did you know that? I said, because I did packing in the warehouse. I know what happens sometimes in watch battery. They slide underneath the sleeve, and you can't, you think you don't have them. So the guy checked in the order. Obviously, if I was checking in the order, I would do the same thing, say I got shorted the watch batteries, but I knew where they were, you know. So it was a natural fit for me, and I really enjoyed it. And the customers loved me because they didn't have to call the office. I knew the answer to everything. I didn't have to call anybody. I knew the answers, you know.
Well,
And
I gotta tell you tonight. I need you to give me some answers for some of the things I'm about to share with you, buddy. So you're pretty good with details and figuring things out. And I need you to solve the puzzle tonight, or at least try to explain it to me.
Well, I'm
So
pretty good at puzzles actually. So
good, good.
you know,
Now we were talking earlier, and we were
yeah,
talking about Buddy Hackett,
Buddy Hackett. Yes, one of my
yeah.
favorite comedians.
And I love Buddy. But
Yeah.
you got a joke that I want you to like give it to me now because I
Okay.
can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday.
Every BS show we've been on so far, I've done a joke that Buddy Hackett told, and this is one I never heard before, and I thought it was funny as hell. I hope you do. I hope people watching this do. So this guy, he stumbles into a bar. He goes up to the bartender. Hey, bartender, give me a drink. And there's a round of drinks for everybody in the bar, and you too. So the bartender, gives everybody a drink and gives himself a drink. And just the guy, that's $78.27. And the guy says, I don't have no money. So the bartender takes him by the shirt and takes him outside and beats the shit out of him. And after about 10, 15 minutes, the guy walks in again. Hey, bartender, give everybody a drink, but not you. You get nasty when you get drunk. I thought it was kind of funny. I never heard that before. I thought it was pretty funny, you know. Buddy Hackett just a very, very funny guy. Had a lot of, stories, and they were all clean. And he just had a way of telling these jokes. They're just hysterical. He's one of my favorite comedians, actually.
Now, were you a big fan of Johnny Carson?
Yes, yes. I think Johnny Carson was the best late night host ever. I don't think that anybody like it again. There's no reason to stay up late anymore. Like I was when I was 12 or 13 years old, I used to beg my parents to let me stay up and see the monologue. At 11 o'clock. That was for a 12, 13-year-old kid back, you're talking about in 63, 64, 65. That was like a late 11 o'clock was late for somebody and I used to beg my parents to let me watch the monologue on Johnny Carson. I thought he was just hysterical. He had a rapport with all the guests. First of all, he knew they all hung out together, a lot of them. Not like today. These guys they're fighting with each other and saying stupid shit about each other. These guys actually liked each other and realized that by being close to each other, that it made their careers even better. Like the Rat Pack, that whole, Joey Bishop and Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra and they were just I don't know, just the camaraderie, and because Johnny Carson was friends with these people, he could do whatever he wanted to him and say whatever he wanted to him. And they could say the same thing to him. And he didn't get offended. They all laughed at it. They knew it was joke. They knew it was funny,
You can also include George Carlin in the mix, too.
Yeah, George Carlin was the same way. Yeah, George Carlin, yeah. Yes, George Carlin was he was ahead of his time. People didn't realize it.
Yeah. Do you remember when Johnny was leaving the show? Take you back to the days. And there were different guys jockeying for position to who would get that show. Now, one of the heir apparents was Joan Rivers. I mean, Joan hosted that show. What did you think of Joan?
She had her own, you know what? She could offend people a certain way. She was funny to a certain degree, She was, at that time, there wasn't that many really good women comics. And she came along with a shtick about her friend Abramowitz or whatever her name was, and she could be offensive though to some people, but that was just her way of doing it, As was Rickles, Rickles turned a lot of people off,
The reason why I was asking with Joan, I want to stay on Joan here because sometimes comedians could be their worst enemies in what they say, and so. I'm going to play a clip because it's April Fool's Day. And what's the name of the show? The Bullshit Show. BS Show, right? So I'm going to play something. And you're here because you worked for all those years in that company. And you fixed just about everything and solved a lot of those problems. And they paid you well for it. So I need you to just
Well, I don't say they paid me that well, but it was okay. They paid me okay. That's not
I'm not going to. This is a freebie here tonight. But I enjoyed Joan Rivers. And when I saw something, it really irked me. I'm going to set this up a little bit. And the woman's not here any longer. And I want to pay my respects to her for being a phenomenal comedian and paving the way for Lisa Lampanelli and all the other lady comedians who came there after, because she kind of opened the door. But she crossed the line when it comes to telling it like it is. And I'm going to show you that. And then, Allan, after this clip is over, we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And I just want to get your views on it. So here we go. I want to play Joan Rivers, one of her last words spoken.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
Allan, when I first heard that, I said, I know Joan's a comedian.
Right.
But wow, she set it off with that. What do you think?
I think Michelle is nuts without balls, or balls without nuts, or nuts without balls, something like that. Yeah, I don't know which one. I forget which one it is, but anyway, or both. Nuts without balls or balls without nuts.
Now, with this happening, right? Not long after that,
right,
she ends up dying mysteriously on anesthesia in a New York hospital there.
Right. She knew Hillary Clinton. That's why.
So Howard Stern did the eulogy, right? And here's a guy who stands about 6'8", right?
Correct. Big man. Yep.
I see him in Tavern the Green in Central Park wearing pink spandex pants with sequins on it. I said, well, I've never seen a woman that big. He turned around. It was Howard Stern. I said, man, I've never seen an ugly man that big either.
Right. Wearing pink.
Wearing pink. So I know he's going both ways. There's no doubt about it. And he spoke at the eulogy, and he knows loose ships sink ships. And Joan Rivers is gone because of one of the things she shared, which she wasn't supposed to share, but everybody knows about it, is what she said. But I don't think everybody knew about it. But I think as we go on, she needs restitution, because if she died for making a truthful comment, then we need to straighten this out tonight.
Yeah, we got to dig up Michelle, or dig down Michelle.
Well, speaking of which, let's dig up Michelle right now, if we will.
It's quite amusing, but it's this is deep fake.
Like most humor is based on truth. I mean, the guy is brain damaged. He's cognitively impaired. The idea of his being a candidate of a major political party for the presidency of the United States is ridiculous.
Yeah, but Jim, don't you think though? I mean, at this point that they're kind of just toying with this because they're gonna. Don't you think they have something up their sleeve? They know.
Oh, I think they have Andrew Cuomo and Michelle Obama up their sleeve. That's what I anticipate, Louise.
Yep. Okay. Thanks for adding that, because, they definitely have something up their sleeve.
Biden says I'd add Michelle to my ticket in a heartbeat. Speaking of Michael LaVaughn Robinson, I'd take her in a heartbeat. Here's an earlier photograph of Bill Gates with, guess who? Barack Obama and Michael LaVaughn Robinson. Notice what Michael LaVaughn Robinson does not have that Michelle Obama has: boobs. Here's Bill Gates with the boobless Michael LaVaughn Robinson. We know, in fact, from her position, that Michelle Obama is not a woman who used to be a man, but a man with breast implants and a huge shaving bill. On the campaign trail, no medical staff were allowed to go near her other than to take vitals if she got sick, which she never did. I know what I know because I walked in on her or him while he was taking a leak standing up in a bathroom in Trenton. They paid me millions for my silence, but after seeing what they've done to the country, I just can't keep quiet. Notice how Michelle has a package that most women do not have. and where a diligent student found the parents of the children, since two men cannot have children, where the older girl looks just like her father, the younger just like her mother. Meanwhile, Malaya praises Trump's action. My dad wouldn't know what to do. This is a fairly sensational, if relatively minor, development. Trump's response in these difficult times is gaining him fans from the most unlikely places. While Nancy Pelosi and the wicked Democrats in the House continue to criticize and rage against him, others on the left are seeing the light. The latest is probably one of the last people you'd suspect of saying anything positive about our president, Barack Obama's eldest daughter, Malaya, while in conversation with one of her classmates, admitted her true feelings about Trump's abilities. Hank Hilmer, a very intelligent, charming Harvard classmate of hers, told reporters that two of them were having a conversation about Trump's leadership. He was shocked when she actually said, "I have to admit he's showing true leadership and strength. It's like he instinctively knows what to do. He's giving people hope. My dad would have fumbled this. He wouldn't have had a clue how to handle it." Malaya, of course, asked Hank to keep the conversation secret so it wouldn't damage her dad's reputation, but it was too much for him to hold back. A devout Trump supporter himself, he decided to tell the world in an upcoming book written along with avowed Republican strategist Joe Barrett. Our president is winning over the hearts and minds of the entire world. He's our only hope to recover, and little by little, all are coming to see that. Even the wicked Democrats, including Barack Obama's daughter.
Yeah.
Lisa, that's just a fascinating story.
And
Well, Alan, we're back. What say you?
Sounded like a little BS to me, but what do I know? Like I said, nuts without balls or balls without nuts. I don't know. Very possible. Listen, first of all, whoever heard of Obama before he ran for president? I certainly didn't.
No.
Okay.
He was made by the CIA and George Bush, and he's not even black. He was born to the king and queen of Thailand. His brother right now, Maha Vajiralongkorn, is now the actual prince, a prince who became a king. And Obama was the youngest brother, so he was the throwaway son, so to speak. And they put him on the American people, and they passed him off as Barack Obama. And really, he was Prince Sindoni from Thailand. Matter of fact, when his father died in 2016, he was there at the funeral. Quite interesting that he's there, in Thailand with Hillary Rodham Clinton. So it goes to show you, that
Hillary Rotten Clinton.
Well, I saw the excerpts. I read the her transcripts of her and Uma, and I realized she should have went to jail. Trump was right on point about that, and her gay relationships.
Well, there's a reason why she stuck by Bill. She stuck by Bill because she didn't want nobody messing on her personal stuff. Okay. So listen, Monica might have been doing both of them, for all we know. She got caught. That's why she got thrown out of the White House. Probably she wasn't supposed to get caught with either one of them. She did. So,
Yeah, you're probably right. So now,
Hillary got mad because she got caught with him. Hey, you did him and you did me, but you got caught with him, and that's no good because that's not the agreement we had. And Monica hasn't said a whole lot ever since then either. Really,
Well, so she had a mouthful. That was enough,
And something about the devil with the blue dress or something like that, right? Oh, that was a song too, right? Devil with the blue dress.
Yeah. That's by my friend there. Yeah, Mitch Ryder.
Mitch Ryder.
Detroit Wheels. Yeah, Mitch.
Detroit Wheels, correct.
Yeah.
I saw a few musical lyrics in here also.
Yeah, I did a talk show. What do you think with Nancy Wallace? And I used one of his songs as an intro for our show there. So yeah, I like him. He's pretty cool. So
yeah, he was good. Yeah.
So here we are. I just blew it up there on April Fool's Day and put something out there that I'll put all my enchiladas on that I am right on point about this, and I am, and I will not that I would stand on a stack of Bibles. If I wanted to, if I couldn't reach something, I have to stand on the Bible so I can get elevated height. But I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Matter of fact, with that said, I'm going to just play a little song, and it's called "Against the Wind," and I'm going against the grain, as you know. I just did.
We are. This whole show is going against the grain.
So this is for both of us. So here we go. Against the wind. No sun against the wind. I found myself singing somewhere against the wind. Allan?
Well, all I'm going to say is Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, you're never going to be in that band. That's all I'm going to say. They got nothing to worry about. But no, I know you. Listen, I pick on jokes and I pick on commercials that I see every day, and I just saw one recently. Matter of fact, I saw something today. I was watching the Yankee game. I'm a big Yankee fan. And unfortunately, they lost in extra innings thanks to that stupid guy on second base in extra innings, starts off the inning on second base. Anyway, whatever. But so today, and I've been seeing this for a long time, and I've been saying it for a long time, and nobody's paid attention to this. Michael Kay has a habit when a guy dives for a ball, he says he did a full body dive. Well, I want to know something. Can you do a half body dive? Because I can't. Okay, but he says it all the time. He did a full body dive. Well, we can't dive with half of your body, you schmuck. So it's just a dive. You go for the ball, not a full body dive, not a half body dive, a 3/4 body dive. What the hell are you doing? So anyway, this just irks me when I hear him say that. And the other day on the NCAA, game with who was on? Who was playing? Oh, Gonzaga. Gonzaga. I'm sorry. Coke had a new commercial which I never heard before, and I said to myself, "Are they kidding me? Does this make any sense?" The thing said, "Coke is as good on the couch as it is on the court." Why? It's supposed to taste different depending on where you're at. I mean, does that make sense? It didn't to me anyway. I pick up on commercials like that. And Spectrum has one now where this guy goes into this small little house and he's got a dish on the house, and the guy says, "Oh, Tony, why are you coming over my house all the time?" And he goes, "I downsized my house, and I downsized my internet." And he points to his brain. What does his brain have to do with the internet? What does his brain have to do with the internet? I don't get it.
I don't know. A quick interjection. There's a white light. There's a white light coming across your face and your screen. I don't know what that is.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I know. If I move my phone the other way, the light gets in the way. I see it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we weren't getting sabotaged here. Right?
No, well, we might be. But we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
And
I got to ask. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Oh, so something else that bothers me. Did you ever go on the internet? And I think we talked about this privately, but we didn't do it on the air. That you go on something and it says you got to do this captcha thing because they want to make sure you're not a robot. And they send you like 10 pictures or 12 pictures of something, and they say pick out the thing. And there's always one that you can't really make out. So you end up doing it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then you can't get to what you really want to do because you get frustrated and you can't get this one picture maybe. Or they have a thing on here called there's pictures of what they call a motor bus. Did you ever see a bus without a motor?
No.
Because I never did, Or like, what else bugs me with the internet too is you get an email from something that you never signed up for. So you unsubscribe to it. And they want to know why you want to unsubscribe. What's the difference? I want to unsubscribe. What the hell? I don't have to tell you why. And then you still get emails from them a couple of days later after you unsubscribed. Like, you unsubscribe. Hey, I'm telling you, there's a thing I unsubscribed for like 10 times. I keep saying I keep unsubscribing. I keep getting your emails. So why do they unsubscribe for? Explain this. I don't get it. It's just stupidity, But anyway.
That light keeps interfering. That light keeps coming over near.
Yeah, that's because if I move my phone one iota, this little light gets in the way here, I guess. So I got to be careful not to do that. That's just me being stupid, I guess. Hey, what do you want? I'm old. What do you expect? So those are some of the things that bother me at the internet and stuff, and whatever. And then I got some dating stories that I told last time, but I got a few more, that I wrote down, and a few that are kind of funny, that I didn't want to forget about. I met this girl online, and we go out to lunch in a restaurant that she picks. And after we're sitting for a little while, she goes, I really don't think I should be on a dating site. Well, why are you on a dating site if you think it shouldn't be on a dating site? I don't get it. And then I meet another girl one time, and I thought she was pretty nice. She's a little chunky, but nothing terrible. She says to me, "I think I'm too heavy for you." Don't you think I should decide that? I always say that a lot of these women, I'm sure guys too, they don't know really what they're out here on the dating scene for. They really don't know what they want, and they really don't know what they need. A lot of them can't get past their past, They really don't know what they want. They meet somebody, they think they're nice, and then they go, I don't know if I want you. You're too nice, or you're not really for me. And listen, at this point in our lives, whatever, if you're 40, 50, 60, whatever, and you're still single, whatever, you've been through experiences. And wouldn't you rather be told in person than somebody hiding on the phone or making up some kind of stupid excuse about why they don't want to see you? I certainly would be, I don't know. I have people say that, oh, you're a great guy, you're exactly what I'm looking for, but I don't think there's a connection. Wait a minute. Is that something don't make sense there or what? So these are just some of the things that I've come across in my dating experiences, I will say, you know, and there's many, many more that I haven't told them, and they'll come out as time goes by, you know. Um,
As
one
time
more,
goes by.
yeah. Well, here's one that just came to mind all of a sudden. This is somebody I went out with for like, I guess about 3 or 4 months, and it was Thanksgiving Day weekend. It was Thanksgiving was coming up the next week, and she had moved into her sister's house because she had been living with her aunt, and her aunt sold the house, and she calls me up and says, "What are we doing this weekend?" And we went to a like an antique, not an antique show. It was like I guess I don't know I don't really know what it's called. Some kind of show where they showed people make up these weird things, and you can have them in your house and stuff, out of a lot of different things, and like a home show or something. And well, I gotta back this up. The day before that, we went to a club in Jersey to see a friend of hers who was in a band, and she looked around. She said, "Oh, you know what? I'm really glad I don't have to look for a guy. I got a guy." So the next day, we go to this home show in the afternoon, and she said, "You know, I'm thinking to get my own place, and I'd like you to move in with me." And I said, "Let's see what happens in a couple of months. You know, let's not go that far yet." But it was we're getting along pretty well, and it was Thanksgiving week, and she called me up and she said, um, "My sister's going to have like 12 people at the house, and she wants to know if you like lasagna or turkey or manigat because they were Italian." And I said, "I really like, lasagna and manigat. Turkey, that's typical of Thursday, but if I had a choice, I take the Italian meals rather than the turkey." And about a day later, she calls me up and she says, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I can't see you anymore." And I said, "What are you talking about? You just asked me what I wanted for Thanksgiving, just like yesterday." Said, "I think I've been thinking about this for a while. I just want to be alone. I don't want to be with anybody right now." What the hell? We went out for like 3 or 4 months. We used to go to dinner on Wednesday nights, and we were out together on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She lived with her sister, whose son um, was a football player in one of the local high schools, and I used to go watch him play because I love watching kids play. I'm a big sports fan, and she loved that. I would go and we'd watch the game, and sometimes we'd go out to dinner afterwards, or he'd go with us. Sometimes with her sister. And I'm like, where the hell did this come from? 2 days before, you're telling me I'm glad I don't have to look for a guy. The next day, we're talking about, you're telling me possibly about moving in together, and then like a day later, you're telling me you can't see me anymore. There's a little confusion going on here. So I never saw her again after that. I don't know what happened. I don't think she knew what the hell she was doing or what she wanted, or maybe she thought we were getting too close. I have no idea. But when somebody says they don't want to see me, I don't know what's in their brain. I don't try to figure it out because I can't. That's their brain, not mine. So I don't know. That story just popped into my head. I don't know why. But those are some of my dating, experiences. So
One of many, one of many, one of many.
one of many, 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 many. Believe me, I have like 4 pages of a little diary on the side of me here. I was checking them off before we went online.
I got a question. The
Yeah.
internet dating,
Yeah.
photos, when you see the women online and then you meet them at the restaurant or
Right.
you go out for coffee, do they look anything like they present themselves to be?
Yes and no. I know that's a real good answer. Yes and no. Some people put on 10-year-old pictures. Some are the best picture they ever took in their lives. But if they resemble the picture and might be a little heavier or a little thinner or a little older, I'll deal with it. But I had one that you brought back. Actually, you brought this up and you brought it back to my brain actually, which is kind of cool. I met this lady online, and she lived not too far from me. And you know where I live, and she lived in Union, New Jersey, and I live right now in South Plainfield, so not that far. and we had a lot in common, according to what was on the profile, and we talked on the phone, and everything seemed nice. Um, and she wanted to meet in Kenilworth, in the Kenilworth Diner, which I had never been in. I knew where it was, but I was never there. And I looked at, when she pulled in the parking lot, I saw this older woman come in, and I went, that can't be my date. So she gets out of her car, and she's in front of me, and her hair is blonde in the front and all white in the back. And we sit at the table, and we start talking, and she's, after about 15 or 20 minutes, we're having breakfast. She says, I really like younger guys. Oh, first of all, I got to back this up. There's a piece of this I forgot. So when she gets out of the car, I said, she said her name was Jill online. So I said, hey, Jill, how you doing? She goes, my name's not Jill, it's Lisa. I said, what? She goes, yeah, I don't want anybody to know my real name, so I put a fake name on the profile. I went, okay, here we go. And then I saw the blonde hair in the front and all white in the back. And I'm like, okay, you're not what I think you are. First of all, your pictures are got to be 10 years older than they are, because I could see you're much heavier. You got wrinkles, you got bags under your eyes. You look completely different. So we sit down. I don't say anything because I'm not like that. I figure, well, we're going to have breakfast. What's the difference? And we start talking, and we have a lot in common. And she's telling me this, and she likes to do this and do that. And I like to do this, and I like to do that, whatever. And she goes, I like younger men. You know how old I am? I said, well, I'm 60, at that time I was about 66. I said, it says on your profile you're 63. So, I think to myself, I don't think you're 63, but this is what you're telling me on the profile. So she goes, well, I'm really 73. But guys my age don't want to do anything. I said, what do you mean don't want to do anything? Well, they don't want to go to bed. They don't want to do this. They want to sit around. So I said, well, do you think that's fair that I'm thinking I'm meeting a younger woman, and I find out that I'm meeting somebody 7 years older than me? She goes, well, it shouldn't be a problem, So we have breakfast, and I don't blow her off. We finish breakfast, and we go our separate ways. I send her a text as soon as I get out of the parking lot. And I said, listen, you seem like a nice lady, but you're not for me. And then I go to the website, and I said, listen, this is not fair. I said, the lady lies about her name, lies about her age, okay? And I don't think that's fair to any guy who's going to meet her. So they say to me, how do you know this? They sent me back an email. How do you know? I said, I met her. Those pictures are 10 or 12 years old. And she says she's 63 and she's 73. And she says her name is Jill and it's Lisa. I don't think that's fair to somebody. That's total misrepresentation. And you should kick her off your freaking site. Whether they did or not, I don't know, because I get off that site. But I mean, imagine somebody, I can understand somebody putting pictures on 1 year old, 2 years old, 5 years old, but 10 or 12 years old and lying about your name and your age? Come on. As soon as I saw her, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't want to say anything. I figured, well, I hadn't had breakfast, so I might as well eat breakfast. What the hell,
Well, maybe she was in the witness protection program, so
I think maybe she should be in the witness protection program. But do you think that people aren't going to realize that you're not the same person that you put online when you meet them? And I have this saying that if I meet somebody and they lie to me from the start, what else are they going to lie to me about? Really, you're going to lie about your age, who you are, and just why do that? Because no guy, no girl is going to put up with that. Guys, I know I've heard stories that guys tell these women that they're 6 feet and they end up being 5'4". Like, really? Do you think the lady's not going to know when you get there, you dumb jerk? Or the women that only show from the waist up because they got a big bottom. Do you think the guy's not going to realize that when he sees you? It doesn't make sense to me. you know, you misrepresent yourself. It doesn't make any sense, you know?
Well, if that's the way you start out, you know, it's going to be
Right.
a horrible
Listen,
ending.
whether it's a job or a relationship or anything, if it starts off bad, it usually ends up bad. That's the way it is. Listen, I had that one. I was telling you a story. I had a job for 25 years. I had a bunch of jobs after that. The last 10 were in the car business, you know, around a car dealership pretty much. But if I had jobs that I knew didn't start off good, they didn't end up good because there was no place for it to go but down from the start. You know, I tell a story. This is true. That hold on. Okay. I went to work for a tow truck company. The guy had 15 or 20 flatbeds, and he had a repair shop, very successful, him and his son. And they're looking for a salesman to grow his towing company. And I'm not going to mention the name of it because some people watching this might know who it is, and I don't want to badmouth the guy, but anyway. So I was out of work for a couple of months, and an agency calls me and says, "I got a job for you in I'm just going to say Hackensack, which is where it was." And I really don't want to go that far, but I said, okay, whatever. And I set him an appointment to see the father and the son. The father is the owner. The son is like the vice president, but he's going to take over eventually because the father is getting a little older. And I get there, and the son says, I'm sorry, my father had something to do today. Unfortunately, I'm going to interview you. So he interviews me, and he loves me, loves my experience, loves everything I tell him. And he says, but you have to come back and see my father next week because he has the final say in this. So I'm not thrilled about that, but I go back up there the following week, and I see the father, and he's asking me 9 million questions. Why does my son think you're so great? He bragged about you, that you're right for this job, and and I told him my experiences and all that. And he goes, you know what? I agree with my son. I do want to hire you. Can you come in 2 weeks? I said, okay. So I called the agency. I said, listen, the guy wants to hire me. He told me I got to wait 2 weeks. I'm not thrilled about that, but what I got to do, what I got to do. And so somewhere around the middle of the first week, I get a call from the agency. They have to postpone the hiring for another week. I'm not too thrilled about this because now you're talking 3 weeks. Now you're talking almost a month. I'm waiting to get a job, and I could have had a couple other jobs, but I gave them up because I thought I had this one. So anyway, I get there on a Monday, and I walk in, and I hear the father say to the son, "What the fuck are we going to do with him? I forgot he was coming today." And I went, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble." So they had dispatch unit up in Wyckoff, New Jersey, which is a good 20 miles away north. And the owner takes me there. So I'm gonna take you up there, and I'm gonna leave you there all day, and I'm gonna come get you later on. Well, I get up there, and the guy says to me, "What did he drop you here for? We have nothing to do with the job that you're gonna do. We're just the dispatch center. So I have no idea what you're gonna do today. You're basically gonna sit here and jerk off all day till he comes and gets you again." So the next day, I go into the office and I say, "Listen, let me ask you a question. Do I have a desk? No. Do I have a computer? No. Do I have business cards? No." I said, "You want me to be a salesman? Do you have a do you have a sales brochure or anything?" No. I said, "How do you think I'm going to go on the road and sell for you?" So he says to me, the father says to me, "Well, you're going to share a desk with me." The son had his own office, like a nice office, all fixed up. And the father didn't have an office. He didn't want an office. He was roaming all over the place most of the day. They had a big repair shop also, and body shop. And I said to the father, "Well, how am I going to share a computer with you?" He said, "Well, you're going to sit right there and share the computer with me, and you're going to share the desk right there. That's my desk also, and you're going to have the little side piece over here." I said, "Wait a minute. I don't have my own desk. I don't have my own computer." So I said, "Do you have a business card?" He says, "No, we'll have some business cards made up for you." So he makes up a business card for me. I said, what about a sales brochure? You want me to sell? You got to make up a sales brochure. So me and the son make up a sales brochure together. And I go out. I go, listen, how do you want me to go out? You know, well, we want you to go to a lot of landscaping places and nursing homes and see if we can get their repair, their body shop stuff and the repair work. That's okay. So I live south, so I'm going from the north to the south. I'm going to about 10 or 12 stops a day. And one day the owner comes to me, the father, and says, I want to see where you're going every day. I said, okay, before you go. So I give him a list and he goes, I don't want you to go here. I don't want you to go here. I don't want you to go here. And why are you going north to south? Well, I'm using my car and I'm going to the farthest point north so I can be closest to my house when I get done. To me, that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense to him. And then I start getting a few accounts. And I said, listen, you got to give me the tools to sell on the custom. No, we got to send this other guy out with you and he's going to do the estimate. Or I have to do the estimate with you. I said, so you're going to tie my hands now. I can't make an estimate without either you or him. That's right. So I call the agency after about 30 days. And I listen, this isn't going to work. The son seems to like me. The father doesn't like me. And the agency says, no, they love you. They love you. They love you. I go, listen to me. The son can't blow his nose without the old man. I don't care what you think or what he portrays himself to be. The old man controls his business. Okay. So after about 35 days, the old man pulls me in the office and he says, you know, I want to talk to you. And I said, what's the problem, sir? I said, I'm going out every day and I'm doing what you want me to do. And I've gotten you a few accounts, but somebody's got to go out and close the accounts because you won't let me do it. He says, you know, if I wanted somebody to give out brochures, I could hire a blonde with big boobs and a short skirt. And I answer to him is, if you think that's what I'm doing, come out with me one day. And he goes, well, I don't have time for that, you know, but I just don't know what you're doing out there. I said, but I'm showing you the route before I go out, so you know where I'm going. You know, it's not like I'm making these stops up, or you do. Call them, see if I'm there. I don't know. I don't care. You know. And I called the agency again. I said, listen, now he's talking about you could have hired a blonde with big boobs and a short skirt. I said, I don't get this. I'm telling you, this isn't going to work. I told you that from the start. It's not going to work. They don't have a clue what they're doing. This goes on for another month or so, and I called the agency again. I said, listen, they don't have a clue. And she says, well, you know, they bought you some shirts, and they bought you a jacket to wear, to advertise them. I go, I don't care what they bought me. They don't have a clue. The son can't blow his nose without the son. I mean, you know, the son can't blow his nose without the father. The father makes the final. I don't care what you say. The son loves me. I don't give a shit what you tell me. I'm telling you what's going on here. It's not working. After about 60 days, the father calls me in again and gives me the whole speech about the blonde thing again. I call the agency. I go, listen, this isn't working. This isn't going to work. Whether it be me or anybody else, they don't have a clue what they're doing. The father wants me to do one thing. The son wants me to do something else. And now the son is stepping away from me a little bit and letting the father handle everything. The father doesn't like me for whatever reason. I don't know why. The other guy who's his estimated loves me. He says, oh, the guy's a good guy. He's working hard. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, P.S. This goes on for another month or so because I had to pay the agency fee if I left before 90 days. 91 days, I say sayonara, goodbye. And the agency calls me up and says, you know, you fucked us. I go, what do you mean I fucked you? I said, I told you from day one that they didn't have a clue what was going on. And I told you it wasn't going to work. I said, so when the first chance I could get to get out of there, I did. And it's like that in a relationship too. If something starts off bad, it's going to end up bad because it's got no place to go but down. It can't go up because there's no place to go. It's starting off bad, it's going to end bad. And it's going to end bad quickly. And anybody who's in a relationship or in a job that doesn't like it from the start, get the hell away from it because it's not going to get better.
Well, I got to tell you,
if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Don't do it. You know,
Huh?
this has been a great time that we're having tonight, and I'm glad that we're sharing the bull tonight. And we're getting close near the hour, so I'm going to play a little quickly song, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a couple of things before we get off the air tonight. So I want to play one other thing here, and thank you for sharing the night together. Looking at a lonely girl, feeling like someone who you can talk to. Oh yeah, oh. Feeling kind of lonely too, if you don't mind. Can I sit down here beside you? Oh yeah, alright. If I seem to come too strong, I think you will understand. I say the things as I like to know, but it was lonely as I am. And if you mind, share the night together. Oh, yeah, share the night together. Oh, yeah, share the night. We can make it a morning, girl, if you wanna go that far. And if tomorrow binds us together right here, where we are, would you mind sharing the night together? Oh, yeah, sharing the night together. Oh, yeah, sharing the night. We'd like to dance so we can hold it. You know I'll be going. Oh yeah, alright. I'm feeling like I do when I see you. I feel like it, I like it too. Oh yeah, alright. I'd like to get to know you better. It's not a place where we can go, but we can be alone together. Turn the lights down low. Let's all share the night together. Oh, yeah, share the night together. Oh, yeah, share the night together. Share the night together. Sharing the night together. Sharing the night together. All right, guys, that's Stefan. Well, I want to thank you tonight for coming on with me. And before I give you another word here, final words here. Anyone interested in finding out about the HR Bill 748, I put it up again on the Internet Guide for you. It's on its own playlist. And Allan and I went over all of the key points in that. So I strongly suggest that you go to our site, get it, download it, and keep it, because you need to be informed. Yes. And this is all BS, but this BS is straight up, and you're going to need a pair of boots, to sort through all the BS that you're going to realize, and that's been revealed in that, Allan, right?
Some of the bigger than some of the heists that Jesse James and Bonnie and Clyde did, I think.
Oh, this is just an amazing ripoff of the American people. It's right. Just a shame, and you saw that. I mean, I had a video that they made me take down. They censored it, and then they cut it to where it was only 3 minutes with nothing from the bill whatsoever. So I quickly had to go and do what I do and recreate something that I shouldn't have to be able to put it up and express, my God-given right, freedom of speech. So I'm glad that you're in it with me, because here it is. Your screen gets knocked off. We can't see you, or vice versa. I can't have a communication with you, and a number of weeks going by. So I'm telling anyone who's watching this show here to go to our channel, watch that, write it down, ask your congressman, ask your senators, what the freak is going on here?
Right. Not that they could do anything about it. It's already done. But, you know, I think we should move to another country and get some of that money, actually, because we're not getting any of it.
Yeah, that $300 million there for the disaster. Well, that money overseas.
Infrastructure.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Whose money is that? Whose pocket is that going in? Not ours.
Say what you want, but it rained today here, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to blame it on Trump. He had nothing to do with the rain coming down today. So
well, don't blame it on him.
Yeah, but they will. You know, and it's just amazing with the Democrats. I'll say Democrats is what I'm going to call them. And yeah, and it's a shame to be a hater. Don't hate the game. Hate
the players.
Hate to play. I mean, if it's the players bad, like you got the president,
right?
I'm waiting for the day where it's 95 degrees hot. He's under the sun lamps, and the freaking mask peels off, and you get to find out who's underneath the mask.
we know Pelosi's pulling the strings, so it don't matter.
She's 80 years old. She don't have many days to pull yet left.
Well, then it's Chuck the Schmuck that's doing it then.
Well, I tell you, if it's Chuck the Schmuck,
Fancy Nancy and Chuck the Schmuck,
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's
which
one? Which
That's
one?
Exactly
pick
right.
It doesn't matter which one you pick because they're both full of shit.
Right. They're really throwing the bull. You think this show is bullshit, man? They're really throwing it to the people.
Here, real quick. Real quick. I'm gonna throw a quick little commercial here. We've had so much time with the pandemic, so this is what I do in my free time. Here you go. Anyway, that was one of my quick little bits there with this pandemic. I said, let me create something and make a couple of dollars out of it. And people started buying my T-shirts, my cups, my mugs. So I cracked up. I said, gee, from something that started out just bullshit, I made a couple of shekels on it,
Should make one for the BS show, maybe.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do I surely can. Yeah, so check it out. It's on Zazzle.com/Sindoni says. And yeah, I should. Now that I got the time that I'm sitting behind the computer, I can do some of these things. As you know, I'm fairly creative. I'm what I call low budget, no budget. I wrote like 8 or 9 scripts. I had one that was almost selected for a Hollywood movie, and I got a documentary that may be coming out this year regarding inner Earth, hollow Earth type stuff. So,
and I have a script that's going to hopefully have a trailer made for it in Chicago when the COVID dies down. We have the actors in place. We're just waiting, for the COVID to kind of calm down because I have to go to Chicago. I have a friend of mine that has a small studio, and my thing will go. We know it. It's perfect for streaming.
Yep.
For Roku, Amazon, or Hulu, or Netflix. We don't know, but we know it'll go.
I'm sure it will. I am sure it will. You're the magic man when it comes to making people laugh, and it's a talent that you have, my friend. You've got a gift. You've got a gift. I will say.
I don't know what it is, but it's a gift. We don't know which one it is. We haven't opened it yet. Still wrapped.
Well, this week we came on an hour earlier because we've been having shenanigans. Well, you know what? Let's mix it up. Right. Let's try something different. Next week we may go back to 9. We might be at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure, but for anything that we're doing here, you'll find it on the Internet Guy For You channel on YouTube. That's our channel. Alan's got a playlist there, the showcase, the G-Man showcase. Alan's got a website too. He's got www.theg-man.net. He's got videos on YouTube as well. He's on Facebook. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
And
I'm like bullshit all over the place. And it's spreading more and more every week.
There's a cow pasture behind me now. A lot of
Right.
shit here.
Right.
It reminds me of one time when I was working in California. Somebody asked me to help clean the stalls for the horses because one of the guys didn't show up.
I've done
So I
that.
said, oh, I'll do that, you know. Man, I
Mhm.
tell you, I shoveled so much shit, you know, that I thought he gave me enough experience to do the bullshit show, the BS show. So that's what I figured, you know what? I got the experience to do this show.
It's actually a good exercise. Actually, I did it. I went out with somebody for 4 or 5 years, and I did it on a regular basis. And after a while, you kind of I know this sounds weird, but the smell doesn't bother you after a while, and it's actually pretty good exercise. Actually, you know, at least I thought it
All
was
right.
anyway. I was also 15 years younger, 20 years younger. So yeah, about 20 years younger. So of course I didn't mind it then. I don't know if I can do it now because of my heart, but anyway, then I could. But I actually kind of enjoyed it. Maybe it was that I was going to get laid afterwards, so I figured, I enjoy it. I don't know.
Take her up in the barn afterwards, huh?
No, I got in the shower with her afterwards. I had to clean off after that. I let her clean me off.
Oh my God.
So anyway.
Anyway, so you on next week? Are we doing this next week or what?
We are doing it. Hey, they're not stopping us, pal. We're gonna throw the bull again.
All
That
right,
made me
tell
think of a joke. It actually
did.
made me think of a joke. I don't know why. I just thought of this joke as a Buddy Hackett joke, and I just happened to think about it. I don't know why. This lady walks up to a farmer and says, "Let me ask you a question. Why is that cow don't have horns?" And the guy says, "Well, some are born without horns. Some after a while, if they milk so much, the horns fall off. But that cow doesn't have horns because it's a horse." So I don't know why I thought of that. I don't know. My wacky things that just kind of funny anyway. So
Well, you know
anyway,
what? Keep being funny, my friend. And next week, God willing, we'll be back. BS show number what? 7.
Going on 7, yeah.
So we're gonna roll the dice next week. Lucky 7. So
And then we're going to get to 11.
Yeah, that's right. My friend, my co-host, my buddy, my pal, my brother from a different father.
Right.
From the
Don't
same
go too
father.
far here.